being a mum's the hardest job in the world. It is the most insane job in the world. Women have this amazing nurturing power and this level of patience and this energy that I can't bring to the children that they need, then you can't bring. How is a good family supposed to be raised? How do we raise our kids in today's society? How do we build a really good family unit where a wife, a husband, and children can actually bond together and grow? There's a couple of reasons. We're seeing like divorce rates hit sky high times. Okay. We like divorce rates at an all-time high. That means for every divorce, there are kids that are going out there without a father figure or a mother figure. Okay. And you and I both know, like, I know that if I was to get divorced with Kerry, like, I'm just not going to be that much of as good of a father that I can be with Kerry. Because quite often I'm like, well, the kid's going to be at Kerry's house and like, I don't really like Kerry anymore, hence why we're divorced. And like, I'll start to see her patterns within them and I'll get triggered at them, you know, because now I'm like, oh, you're adopting these patterns from your mum. There's a whole lot of issues, but I feel like, you know, with the divorce rates, that's one aspect. The second aspect as to why I wanted to do this was because we've got 2 kids now. They're extremely young. Ocean's 3 and Atlas is like 5 months, but I've just seen the amount of work that my wife Kerry and our wives Corinne has had to do that I didn't get to see, but I'm sure you did. And there's just not this level of respect for the woman in being the mother and being the rock, the foundation of the family. And so because they're not respected, the feminists are going out there and trying to seduce our wives to become this boss lady, to become this alpha woman who has it all, who has like this boss babe vibe. And it's not good for our kids. It's not good for the family dynamic. And it's not even good for them because they're in this conundrum where they want to be a mum, but they're told that they should be more, that being a mum is simply not enough. And as I look at this with Kerry raising our children, I go, man, like being a mum's the hardest job in the world. It is the most insane job in the world. Like women have this amazing nurturing power and this level of patience and this energy that I can't bring to the children that they need, then you can't bring, but they're just not respected. They're not seen. They get abused by the kids. The kids abuse them all the time. They don't get recognized. They don't get the status that you and I get in business. Like you and I, people go, oh man, you make money. You're awesome. I've seen your ads. I've seen you on YouTube. I've seen your stuff. We get all this recognition. Our team looks up to us. But as a mum, you really let go of your self-identity. And I think this podcast is so important. Obviously, we're here to bring recognition to mothers, but we're here to share our stories. We're not here to preach anything. We're here to just share what 2 blokes are going through inside of our 30s, raising kids, trying to keep our marriage alive, build a really good marriage, right? Like, what does that even look like? How do we even parent our children in today's society with all of the chaos going on, with all of the confusion of whether or not they're a boy, they're a girl, they're in the middle, they don't know who they are, right? And we're just having some real and honest conversations on what it's like for men just like us who want a traditional family unit. I wouldn't say traditional, but I'd want a strong family unit. Like we look back to our ancestors in the caveman time, we had a lot of wisdom there. And it's just trying to bring ancient wisdom back up to the modern world. Okay, so I think that's kind of what sparked this conversation. I think that's why I'm back here. I think this is so critical, so important. I think that men like us need to speak up more. Hence why I'm doing my bit here. So Al, do you want to dive into this with what is it like to be a man in today's modern world? Like what are the responsibilities, the stresses that men have, that men aren't even aware of, that they have? And if you're a man about to get married, well, you know, you're going to face these stresses and these experiences that me and Al have gone through. If you're a man that's 50 and you have teenage daughters, well, great. Hopefully you can impart some wisdom to us so that we don't, you know, we can learn from your lessons. But what is it like to be a man in today's world? Why is it so hectic? Why is it so hard?
Yeah, great intro, bro. And look, to be fair, it's really tough for a lot of men in the world today where you just get blindsided by the conditions that has led to more chaos, more turbulent experiences, more volatility when it comes to making choices, where you focus, where you spend your time. Everyone wants your attention. Technology's going through the fucking roof faster than ever, you know. I remember seeing a stat that the modern day 12-year-old has experienced and already been exposed to more than only 50 years ago what an 80-year-old would have gone through in their lifetime. So that's insane. You're already looking at a 6.5x for a 12-year-old too, where they don't have the mental capacity. So
Mm.
take that into today's world, gentlemen, and all of a sudden you've got a man who's looking to get married, which unfortunately, through the most part, the legal systems definitely does not work in the favor of the man. He's left much more exposed, much more vulnerable, which is why choosing and aligning with your queen is more critical than ever, because you will get fucked up if things don't line up and there isn't that alignment and clarity at the start, certainly throughout the middle. Without those two, there is an end. There absolutely is, and it's not a happy ending for you. And then also, as Lynn's working through now, and has been for 3 years, but I have with my 6, 4, and 2-year-olds, my children, fatherhood. Like, here's the thing, boys. Like, making money, business, health, fitness, all that shit's fucking easy. Like, you all look back when you have children, you're like, man, what was I doing? What was I spending my time on? I had so much more time. And that's the crazy part. All that stuff in isolation is still actually quite easy. It's very simple. It's very simple to make money. It's very simple to have a great body. Throw in the mix fatherhood, marriage, helping provide your wife's needs and maintaining a rhythm with that consistently. Not here's what I'm going to do once a month. Being a father with no sleep, children having ear infections, cold, flus, operations. All of my children have had operations. They've got horrendous ears, so grommets, adenoids, tonsils, all these things that deprive you of sleep, energy, focus, and tear you to shit. What we're left with in today's world, gentlemen, is no roadmap, no rule book, and ultimately no cohort.
Yeah.
No environment of people who are willing to speak the truth like you and I are, Lynn, to actually say, hey, this is the fucking reality of life, but also this is what you can do about it. So what happens, Lynn? Yeah, man. Men are left isolated, alone, another lone wolf story, and they break down and fall apart.